All right, lesson 9-3, circles. So by the time we are done with this section, we should be able to write equations of circles and graph them. So a circle is the set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a given point. Okay, so basically we have the center of the circle, and then all the points on the outside of the circle are the same distance to the center. So in this length, we call the radius. Okay, so from the center to the outside of the circle is the radius. And then our standard form for the equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So r is the radius, and then our center is h and k. Now remember, when it's inside the parentheses, when we are writing the point, it's the opposite of this number. Same thing, it's also going to be the opposite of the k value. Okay. So again, center is h and k, and then the radius is from the center to the outside of the circle. So if we have to write an equation for a circle in standard form, we just identify h and k, and then we need the radius. So h is 2, k is -3, and we have our radius given to us. So we're just substituting these three numbers into this equation. Okay. So we will have x minus 2 squared plus y minus a -3, so plus 3 squared, equals r squared. So 3 squared would be 9. Same thing with the next one. So h is -5, k is 1. And then if we have the diameter, so remember the diameter is equal to 2 times the radius. So that means that we would just divide this by 2. So r is going to be 7/2, and I'm going to leave that as a fraction. And then we're just going to substitute, again, this information into this equation. So we would have x minus -5, so plus 5 squared, plus y minus 1, quantity squared, equals, and then we're squaring 7/2, which would end up being 49 divided by 4. So we just square the top number and then the denominator. So this would be our final answer for the equation. All right, next problem. So same thing. We just are writing an equation in standard form. Now this time we don't have to find h and k and r. We just have to take this equation in the general form and then complete the square to put it into our standard form equation. So when we do that, we need to rearrange the equation so that the x's are by each other and the y's are by each other. So I'm going to kind of rewrite this. So we will have x squared. Okay, so x squared plus 8x. And then I'm going to leave room to complete the square. And then plus y squared minus 10y. And I'm going to complete the square in this second group too. So I'm going to leave some more room. And then equals 8. And then if we add numbers, so we're adding 2 numbers to the left side, I have to add those same numbers to the right side. Okay. So again, we are factoring the first 3, and we are factoring the last 3 by completing the square. And then on the right side, we are combining. Okay. So again, when we factor, we take this number divided by 2, so 8 divided by 2 is 4, so x plus 4 squared. And then whatever number we write here, we square it, so 4 squared is 16, and then we need a 16 on this side too. Okay. Same thing for the next group. So -10 divided by 2 is -5, so y minus 5 squared. And then -5 squared is 25, and then we also need a 25 on the right side. And then again, we're just combining. So 8 plus 16 plus 25 is going to give us 49. Okay. So if we're just writing the equation, this would be our final answer. Now for practice, if we just identify the center real quick, the center is the opposite of the inside, so -4, and then the opposite with y, so 5. And then our radius is the square root of this number. So the square root of 49 is 7. And we only care about the positive answer because remember, radius represents a distance, and we never have a negative distance. All right, so the next problem, same thing. So we're going to rearrange the equation so that x's are grouped together, y's are grouped together. And then we're going to complete the square on both sets. So x squared minus 6x, and then leave room to complete the square. And then we'll have y squared plus 14y. And again, room to complete the square. And because we're adding two numbers on the left, we have to add those same numbers on the right. Okay, so again, we are factoring the first three, the last three, and then combining on the right. Okay, so again, x, negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3 squared. Negative 3 squared is 9, so I need a 9 on each side. 14 divided by 2 is 7, so y plus 7 squared. And then 7 squared is 49. And then we are combining the 8, the 9, and the 49. So if we add all of those together, that will give us 66. So again, this would be our final answer for the equation. And just for practice, if we just identify the center and radius real quick, the center for this will be 3, negative 7. And then the radius would be the square root of 66, which we won't be able to simplify, so we would just leave it as the square root of 66.